Tonight, court sacks Julius Abure as Labour Party chairman, as Lagos State government announces 64-day traffic diversion on Lekki-Epe Expressway. Plus, Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission commences overall assessment of July 12, 2025 local government election. A pleasant evening to you and a warm welcome to the news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. I am Nta Ch10, the news in detail. The Federal High Court, Abuja, has restrained Julius Abure from further parading himself as the national chairman of Labour Party and recognizing the Senator Usman Nenadi-led caretaker committee as the legitimate leadership of the party. Justice Peter Lifo, who gave the order, anchored the decision of the court on the April 4, 2025 verdict of the Supreme Court, which nullified Abure's claim to the position. The court therefore ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to immediately accord recognition to the Nenadi Usman-led caretaker committee as the only lawful authority to act for and represent the Labour Party, pending the conduct of a national convention. The judgment followed a suit instituted by Senator Nenadi Usman challenging Abure's continued stay in office. Justice Lifo held that materials placed before the court clearly showed that Abure's tenure as national chairman of the Labour Party had expired. The court dismissed Abure's argument that the dispute was an internal party affair. And now we move on to tax matters. As Nigeria rolls out the newly reviewed tax laws, questions and concerns are mounting over their impact on businesses and households. In Lagos, the country's commercial hub, the focus is on what the reforms actually mean and how they differ from public perception. Awal Yusuf Jibo reports.
With the highest concentration of corporate activity in the country, Lagos remains central to the debate of tax. Authorities say corporate income tax still applies to profits, not turnover, with reliefs and exemptions for small and medium-scale enterprises.
Today, all of this has been consolidated to two, just company income tax and development levy. So you do not need to pay all those multiple NITA, police, education tax again. All of those things, you just pay one line, development levy. And the new rate is now for company income tax, 30% today. Development levy 4%, bringing everything to 34%. Whereas previously we had company income tax 30%, education tax 2%, police 0.01, and some other small percentages. But all of those have been consolidated, and I believe that from administrative perspective, it makes it relatively easy for companies to comply.
On property taxation, officials say the new laws do not introduce fresh taxes but clarify existing obligations, separating federal provisions from state and local property charges to address fears of double taxation.
The only thing that is being introduced is on the capital gain tax that has to do with proceeds on the sales of assets and property, which before now it's 10%. but has been increased to 30%. And the brain behind this is that you cannot be charging the productive arm of the economy who are into manufacturing, production, asking them to pay a company income tax of about 30%, 25-30%, and those that invest in sales of property, goes on with 10%, which used to be the former order of the day.
Yes, some old taxes have been retained, but just amended. While new taxes have not been introduced, the way of collection has changed. The filing requirements have changed, and what is liable to be taxed, who is liable to be taxed, has also changed. So, for instance, stamp duty, companies income tax, VAT, and capital gains tax, they still remain federal taxes. So even when states collect those taxes, they are under law expected to remit it to the National Revenue Service. Basically, the Nigerian Tax Act reduces the tax burden on low-income earners and in favor of increasing the tax burden on higher income earners.
At Lagos ports, excise and custom duties on specific imported goods remain targeted. Authorities say the focus is on clearer classification and administration, not blanket increases, easing concerns over price hikes. Overall, regulators say the reforms aim to improve clarity, compliance, and fairness in taxation. In Lagos, Awol Yusuf Jibo, NTA News.
Away from tax laws, the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission has commenced an overall assessment of the July 12, 2025 local government election with a view to building on the successes recorded and avoiding pitfalls in subsequent local government polls. Chairman LASEC, retired Justice Bola Okikiolu Igile, disclosed this after flagging off a two-day post-election retreat workshop for electoral officers in Lagos. Musa Toliat has the details.
The July 12, 2025 local government and council development elections conducted by the Lagos State Independent Electoral Commission was adjudged free, fair, and credible. LASEC Chairman Justice Bola Okikiolu Igile says the commission would continue to foster best democratic practices towards attaining near-perfect electoral process at the grassroots.
Democracy, as the grassroots, remains the foundation of good governance. When local government elections are credible, when they're inclusive and transparent, the dividends of democracy reach the people more effectively and governance becomes more responsive. We must therefore be courageous enough to acknowledge our shortcomings. That's why we're here. And prudent enough to institutionalize the lessons learned.
This discourse will be the heartbeat of institutional growth and ultimately a platform for the reinforcement of voters' confidence for the electoral body, LASEC.
LASEC Supervising Commissioner and Chairman Election Training Committee, Oladele Adekoye, stressed that the workshop is targeted at analyzing the outcomes of the election through constructive feedbacks from electoral officers.
We are not content with just praises that we have here and there. We need to come together once again, review the conduct and the process of the election, to be sure that we had it tightened up everywhere. And if we didn't have it tightened up everywhere, those areas that we never got as much as we would have loved to get, we note them, preparatory to having another election some other time.
There was a technical session on expectations and objectives of elections and how to improve democratic governance through the polls. The post-election retreat workshop had the theme from execution to evaluation, building a more resilient electoral process for Lagos State. Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And now we move on to stakeholders' engagement as the National Cashew Association of Nigeria, NCAN, has expressed strong opposition to the proposed federal ban on exporting raw cashew nuts. This stance was made clear by the president of the association during the 2026 cashew season annual general meeting, AGM, and stakeholders meeting. Nta Ch10 reports that the meeting also ratified the newly elected executive committee members, praising them as credible officers capable of leading the association forward. The reports.
Cashew is a key commercial crop with significant potential to boost the nation's gross domestic product and create employment opportunities, particularly for the teeming youth population. When properly harnessed, the cashew value chain from production to processing and export can contribute meaningfully to economic growth. It is against this backdrop that farmers, processors, and exporters converged at the 2026 Cashew Season Stakeholders Meeting, organized by the National Cashew Association of Nigeria, to chart a sustainable way forward for the sector.
The cashew season is here and we are here. We're excited for the cashew season, so we are doing our official flag off. We have all the stakeholders here. We have farmers, we have processors for value addition, we have traders, LBAs. So we're excited to be here together as one. We need order, we need a structure to get into the farm gates, because what happens is the farmers start harvesting early before the nuts actually mature, and that leads to quality issues when we ship abroad, which means that there's less FX coming into the country.
Representing the federal government, the Deputy Director in the Industrial Development Department of the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Investment, Ajayi Ade, reiterated the government's roadmap for the cashew industry. She stressed the importance of unity and cooperation among stakeholders to formalize and grow the cashew value chain.
The roadmap represents a deliberate shift from fragmented interventions to a coordinated, long-term and results-oriented framework for developing the cashew value chain from farm to factory, from domestic market to global competitiveness, with a strong emphasis on value addition and industrial growth.
All the stakeholders at the meeting underscored the need for stronger collaboration and consolidation within the sector.
We are going to develop the cashew national policy when government will now understand how to advance the cost of cashew in Nigeria. Value addition is compulsory. We cannot continue to be exporters of primary products. We need to generate employment for our teeming youths.
Today, cashew is about the second largest contributor to the non-oil economy in Nigeria.
When we tap into cashew production, cashew cultivation, we see that Nigeria is going to take over as the biggest country in issues of cashew.
They identified climate change, poor pricing, and limited access to market as major challenges confronting the farmers. The stakeholders called for fair pricing mechanism, a collaborative approach across the value chain, and the adoption of good agricultural practices to ensure sustainability and growth. In Lagos, Nta Ch10, NTA News.
Now we move on to traffic management, as the Lagos State government has announced a 64-day traffic diversion on the Lekki-Epe Expressway as reconstruction works begin on the Ajah Bridge to Admiralty section inbound Lagos. The special advisor to the governor on infrastructure, Olufemi Daramola, said the rehabilitation of sections 2 and 3 of the expressway will commence on Sunday, January 25, 2026. He explained that the project will be executed using a traffic management plan with construction carried out intersection by intersection rather than along the entire corridor at once. According to him, work will take place both day and night to speed up completion, while most intersections will be handled at night to ensure improved traffic flow. Daramola added that although the project was initially planned to begin late last year, it was postponed due to the Yuletide festivities, which have now ended. He assured motorists that the state government remains committed to completing the project within the scheduled time frame. Now we'll go on a short break. More reports afterwards. Please stay tuned. We will be right back.
What does wellness sound like?
It sounds like this.
Clean, pure, naturally refreshing. Every drop, purified with purpose. Crafted using eco-friendly processes and state-of-the-art filtration systems. It's not just water. It's smart water for smart people.
At home, in the office, at your next event or lounge, stay sharp. Stay hydrated.
Southern Spa Premium Water. Available in 75 c-liter bottles and 19-liter refills.
Call 0802-331-8305 or 0913-816-0191 to place your order today.
Southern Spa Premium Water for health and living.
Hi everyone, this is Ida Emmanuel Chibike, and we are right here in Great John Bosco Nigeria Limited. It's located in 48 Tedusho Road, right here in Suliri, Lagos. Are you an interior designer, an architect, a builder, and you actually looking for a place to get your furnitures and also quality fabrics like curtains for your homes? Great John Bosco is actually one of the best places to get that. We are situated here in Lagos, Nigeria, right here in Tedusho, and we have branches in Abuja and also on the island, that's Lekki Phase 1. We have from the ranges of Turkish fabrics, American fabrics, Italian fabrics, and what have you. We have them in different categories and in different collections. You can also check us online. We are active online on our social media handles. Our Instagram handle is actually Great John Bosco, and also on Facebook at Great John Bosco. This is Great John Bosco Nigeria Limited, your one-stop shop for all interior needs. Don't hesitate to come by our store here in Todiosho, which is the main head office, to see quality designs and fabrics for your need.
You're welcome back to the news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10 as we continue with the reports about firefighters. The Lagos State government has approved the recruitment of 150 additional firefighters into the Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service to boost emergency response and public safety across the state. The Controller General of the agency, Mrs. Margaret Adeshe, disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday in Lagos. She said the latest recruitment underscores the state government's commitment to building a resilient, well-equipped and professionally trained fire and rescue service. Mrs. Adeshaya noted that the newly recruited personnel employed in November 2025 have resumed intensive training at the upgraded LSFRS Fire Academy, where they are undergoing the professional basic firefighting competency and short service course. She added that the recruitment builds on the earlier landmark engagements under the present administration, including the enlistment of 100 firefighters in 2020 and 435 in 2022, the highest in the history of the service. The agency's leadership reaffirmed the government's determination to continuously invest in human capacity development, modern infrastructure and operational equipment to ensure safety of lives, properties and the environment across Lagos State. And now we move over to Switzerland, where world leaders, corporate giants and policymakers have gathered at the Swiss Alps for the 56th annual general meeting of the World Economic Forum in Davos, one of the most closely watched global gatherings of the year. Glory Agbo reports.
Heads of state to tech titans. The lineup is historic. Around 400 top political leaders and more than 60 heads of government are present, alongside nearly 850 chairs and chief executives and dozens of innovators shaping global tech and finance. Among those attending are U.S. President Donald Trump, set to deliver a major speech this week, European Commission President and French President Emmanuel Macron, and leaders from Africa, Asia, and the Americas. This year's sessions revolved around 5 core themes: cooperation in a contested world, unlocking sustainable growth, investing in people, deploying innovation responsibly, and securing prosperity within planetary limits. Geopolitics and AI dominate the agenda. With rising geopolitical tensions, economic confrontation is now viewed as one of the biggest global risks, replacing armed conflict in recent forum risks surveys. On geopolitics, European leaders criticized tariffs linked to the Greenland dispute, calling for unified responses and highlighting the evolving dynamics among allies. The president and CEO of the World Economic Forum welcomes a historic number of participants to Switzerland's Davos.
We are convening at such a consequential moment for the world, when geopolitical developments are fast-moving, when long-standing trade and economic architectures are being redrawn, and when technological forces are reshaping our industries and societies. We are standing at the start of a new reality.
Critics of Davos argue that despite the high-profile talks, what is lacking is concrete action on inequality, climate change, and inclusive growth. Still, for many attendees, from nation-states to private enterprises, Davos remains the premier stage to shape global priorities for the year ahead. Glory Agbo, NTA News.
away from the World Economic Forum, President Donald Trump triggered backlash from Democrats. Let's join Tabitha Olumatomi on Foreign News.
Acquire Greenland has triggered backlash from both Democrats and a growing number of population in Congress. Lawmakers fear it could violate international law, damage NATO unity, and increase U.S. military involvement abroad. While some population support Trump, others oppose military force, tariff on allies, or any move that undermines Greenland's sovereignty. Congress could block funding or treaties related to Greenland, but Trump may try to act through executive power. The issue has become a wider debate over presidential authority and U.S. foreign intervention. Moving on, link image revealed at least 326 people killed during Iran's violent crackdown on anti-government protests. The photos taken inside a Tehran mortuary shown men, women, and children, many badly injured. Most deaths were recorded on 9th January. Human rights group says the true toll could be far higher, with estimates exceeding 4,000 amid ongoing internet blackouts. And that's it on Foreign News. In Lagos, Tabitha Olumatomi, NTA News.
And from the ever-busy and vibrant world of entertainment, German songwriter and singer Kim Petra's release from her record label. Let's now join Motolani Ogini for more.
Songwriter Kim Petra says she wants to be released from her record label, Public Records, accusing them of blocking her from releasing new music. She claims her new album has been finished for 6 months, but the label has refused to set a release date. Petra also alleges that Public Records has withheld payments from some of her collaborators. Public Records have been contracted for a response. Moving on, newly unsealed court documents have revealed private messages in which Blake Lively made disparaging remarks about Twitter It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni. The messages have surfaced as part of Lively's ongoing lawsuit, in which she accuses Baldoni of sexual harassment and conducting a smear campaign against her. Baldoni has strongly denied the allegations, and his $400 million counter-suit was previously dismissed. The case, which stems from tensions during filming and film's press tour, is scheduled to go on trial in May. Entertainment news in Lagos. Motolani Ogini, NTA News.
And for sports updates, Gift George is on standby with the latest in the world of sports.
Handball. Nigeria's senior men's handball team, the Golden Arrows, began their campaign at the African Men's Handball Nations Cup in Kigali, Rwanda, on a winning note Wednesday afternoon. The Nigerian team, coached by Rafiu Salami, got an impressive 25-23 victory over their Algerian counterparts. The Golden Arrows, made up of foreign and local-based players, shocked the Algerians, who are ranked second in Africa, in its first match in Group A. Nigeria is featured in the African Men's Handball Nations Cup 15 times, with its best performance, which was a fourth-place finish in 1988 in South Africa. In football, Nigeria's representative in the CAF Champions League, Rivers United, have arrived Zambia for its crucial encounter against Power Dynamos of Zambia. Rivers United will face Zambian champions Power Dynamos at the Ndola Levy Mwanrasa Stadium on Saturday, January 24, 2026. The crucial Group A fixture is set for 2 o'clock in the afternoon Nigerian time. The Nigerian side will be aiming to secure a positive result on the road as they continue their campaign in Africa's Premier Club competition, with the outcome of the encounter expected to play a significant role in the shaping of the group. In boxing, ahead of the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland, the Nigerian Boxing Federation says it will conduct an open national trials to select the best boxers that will represent the country at the Games. The screening exercise will feature both local and foreign-based boxers. According to the Federation, the boxing trials, which is expected to be transparent, will give all the boxers equal opportunity to be selected to represent the country at the Games.
So they're going to be coming to Nigeria to race with their fellow local boxers, local counterparts who will be training very, very hard, preparing seriously to make sure they raise the flag or they make Nigeria part in the upcoming game. And we're going to make sure it's going to be a free and fair selection process to the trial.
The 23rd edition of the Commonwealth Games is scheduled for July 23rd to August 2nd, 2026. With sports updates, Gift George, NTA News.
And now we've come to the end of the news at 7 on NTA Lagos Channel 10. Thanks for watching. I am Nta Ch10. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. Good evening.